Oh, that's real nice.
Welcome to Achievement Cleanup Detail number 5. I haven't done one of these in a while because life got in the way and me just not wanting to spend time on certain games. So I had to change it up a few times. If you don't know what this series is, it's me going through and finally finishing games where I left a game unfinished for one reason or another and try to get all the achievements if I can. With this one, I should have done this a while ago. Only one achievement left remaining, and that was to complete the game again. One of the reasons I was somewhat always hesitant to try and go back and finish this was because I thought I might have to go through it in extra time. Thankfully, I already had a playthrough started and the save was still available. Virginia is a first-person thriller set in a town where you play as FBI agent and Tarver investigating a missing person case involving a young boy. From what I remember, I enjoyed this the first time around. It has no voice acting, so it's not going to be for everybody. The first time around, it has a lot of missable achievements, but there's well-made guides out there for this title. Glad I finally get to cross this on my list, even if it was only for 94 points. This one being left unfinished was so frustrating because it was no fault on my end. I got hit with a bug where a monster was chasing me, and no matter what I would do, it would always catch me in the same spot. So I left it, years went by, I started it up again, and I got past that monster first try. What a relief, because I'm glad I can finally get this one done. Now I just had to follow a guide to finish it off. I did have some trouble remembering where I was and remembering the controls and what was going on in the story, but it was not that bad. It's a 2D pixel horror game, which has some nice atmosphere. This game is another one I'm glad to get off the list, because if it wasn't for the bug, I would have already finished this game when I started it. Super Knight Riders is a weird one. If you played this game at launch, this was incredibly easy because the levels had easily identifiable patterns, but later down the road that was changed. And that was around the time where I got started with it. This is sort of the modern take on Outrun, but on a motorcycle. Each stage has 6 levels you need to go through as fast as possible, with incredibly tight time limits too. I'm talking less than 2 seconds in between all the checkpoints. All while dodging riders that are color-coded. It wouldn't be so bad, but 2 of them, yellow and blue, go incredibly slow compared to you and the other riders. You were going very fast, but those guys go at such a slow speed it can constantly mess you up. That's what happened to me. I quit the game because it was too hard and frustrating, at least for me. The only reason I went back and picked it up because I was alerted by a forum post on trueachievements.com that the game was updated, that made the time limit on the hardest track somewhat more forgiving, so I gave it some shots. I went in knowing I was going to fail a lot and I needed to get more practice in. Even if you get hit once, it's pretty much game over. Each attempt was either dead at the start or get pretty far and then mess up along the way. The sad part is, when I was doing that, I wasn't even at the hardest part yet. I was still trying to get the course 6 done, and before I even attempted the 36 track gauntlet. Some attempts were super close and failing at the final finish line, but I did eventually get course 6 done, and you can see it's like super tight timing. It was like less than a second. Once that was cleared, I knew I had it in me to finish this game. The hardest part of the game is doing all 36 tracks in a row, which takes roughly 16 minutes for a full run. Now here you can mess up a couple times here and there, go off the track a little bit, maybe get hit once or twice by the riders, but it isn't recommended. This is so frustrating because it takes so long to get going and into the groove. One of the worst achievements rage-wise I've gotten in some time, but on the flip side, I finally got it. Man, what an amazing feeling it is to get such an annoying achievement. Now remember, not every game is easy, as other people say, because this might happen, where most of the game is fine, but something may be hard or frustrating. Sort of like the ACA Neo Geo games. Some are incredibly easy for some people, and then others are super hard. So Goat Simulator is kind of weird because this is all DLC. I did the MMO, the zombie one, the Waste of Space, and the Payday DLC. There was a standalone release for the MMO and zombie one I've done previously, which ended up confusing me. This like I didn't already do that, but no, there was over 1,000 gamerscore to grab here. I'm glad I did it because it had a bunch of high ratio achievements and rare achievements. All of the DLC has us collect 30 collectibles around the map, do miscellaneous tasks, or certain missions, or missions in certain DLCs. Nothing as bad as Flappy Goat in the base game. In the Waste of Space DLC, there are some achievements that require you to fly a ship and shoot people, but the controls are insanely terrible. But you just gotta take it slow. It's super easy once you learn it. Goat Simulator is an intensely bad controlling game. With physics, it is fun unless it crashes on you and it makes you lose some progress. I think it crashed on me like 3 times when I was playing all the DLC. Each one of the 4 DLCs can take around 3 to 4 hours, so I had to split this up into a few weekends. This was worth it. The base game is still in Game Pass as the time of this video, so you can play that and get some nice achievements, and the DLC isn't expensive, plus with that Game Pass discount it's even cheaper. Now with Goat Simulator, there is a 360 version and Windows version. I did start the Windows version. Maybe I'll go back to that sometime. I'm not sure about the 360 version though. So I got 1 point shy of 2300 gamerscore, and I got to add 4 completions to my collection, which is fast approaching 800 games 100%, which is going to be a fun milestone. If you like these types of videos on my achievement cleanups, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll try to get more out more frequently, but starting soon, the games are going to get longer and longer. So it's going to be a while before that, but I got some smaller stuff still planned. So I hope you like this series, and I'll see you in the next video.